The year 2020 will go down in history as being one of the most tumultuous years across the globe, affecting billions. And it was no different for the members of Parliament. In saying goodbye to each other and the nation during the final sitting of the National Assembly, they look back at the year that was.
The DA wishes you joy, happiness, safety, good health, time with your family, time to relax, time to reflect, time to pray, time to come together safely, and above all, we wish you everything of the best for the Christmas season and for 2021. Allow me to end by saying something highly unparliamentary. 2020, sick. May God bless you all.
We wish to remind all of our people that COVID-19 pandemic is still with us and we must all do everything in our power to avoid contracting the disease. The reality is that we as people of South Africa cannot depend on government to safeguard our health. And the reality is that we are on our own.
It was a tumultuous and unprecedented year filled with uncertainty and many surprises. It certainly exposed many shortcomings that we face as humanity. Most notably, our collective greed for economic gain over everything else.
Colleagues, we are living in the most extraordinary year, and I would almost say probably in a century. It's the most extraordinary year probably in a century. My own mother is 93 years old. She has never experienced a pandemic like this. None of us had. It's absolutely extraordinary times that we've gone through, and I think it's an absolutely wonderful situation that we did manage to keep Parliament going and setting an example in that fashion.
The nation looks to us as leaders for hope. We have a ministry of reconciliation and a ministry of love, and let us not forget that. It's also important to stop and reflect on the lives that have been lost in the nation, including a number of our colleagues, Speaker.
This pandemic also had a psychological effect on many of us, but also many of the people on the ground as well. Despite our differences in the House, and yes, indeed, we attacked each other, but we always agreed to disagree and rose to the occasion.
In the midst of the COVID-19 challenges, as members of Parliament, we had to soldier on and carry out the mandate that was given to us by the people who voted us. I also wish all members a Merry Christmas, a good New Year.
I want to thank all the members, all the chairs who have made sure that everything moves properly. But then above all, I want to thank you, Honorable Speaker. Many I know amongst us in the country don't know that you were the first, smallest little girl in the bush who was there fighting for the liberation of our people. I want to thank you. I know we do box some of the times. Well, I was a professional boxer myself, but then I do recognize the fact that you had to carry that big machine to make sure that you contributed to where we are at this particular moment.
Members, Speaker and staff of Parliament have worked hard and now deserve a break. With some colleagues, we have forged closer bonds through serving on committees and really getting to know each other and learn and discover that all of us have a common goal, which is close to our heart. We all love our country and have wishes to improve the condition of our people.
Unfortunately, some people saw a gap in which they can get into these funds to enrich themselves. Those people will burn in hell. They will not be blessed. They will not be blessed because they stole from the poor and vulnerable. These funds were meant to assist during these difficult times of coronavirus. We therefore applaud our John Vuligate, the Hawks, and the SIU for investigating and arresting those who are implicated.
National Assembly Speaker Thandi Modise was able to round off the goodbyes with sage advice.
I think we join hands today. We have had a very difficult year. it was also a challenging year. But it was not a hopeless year. Because when you get into difficulties, Honorable Madisha is right, those of us who've been in the bush, if you get into the bush, an unknown terrain with anybody, and if you survive with that person, you do know that you have a very long journey throughout life with that person. You may always differ, you may talk against each other, you may be hopeless together, but you do know that you have to survive together. Because once you've done it once, you do know that it becomes a habit. So I want to say that COVID-19 has shown us its backside. It might still turn around and show us the other side. But we do know that we will be resourceful, we will have each other's back.
A special thanks was given to parliamentary staff who managed to keep the institution going. The 5 members of parliament who succumbed to COVID-19 this year were also commemorated during the final session.
May their souls rest in peace.